Hey, just as a precursor, this video is going to be quite cheesy. I wanted to write something that, to the best of my ability, truly encapsulates my feelings about this wondrous game. So I put on some of the music, and I just wrote. And then I turned off the music and rewrote it once I had stopped crying. In all seriousness though, this game has meant a lot to me, and although there's a negligible chance anyone watching this will care, I just wanted to say some words about how this game has changed my life so much. And I know that sounds very cliche, and honestly, this script's a bit generic. Like I truly cannot properly capture what I feel about this game, Minecraft. But like, it's easily one of the best things ever for me, really. Here goes. Minecraft has been one of the most influential things in my life. It's affected me in so many ways. It's one of the few constants, and despite all the changes in the past 5+ years that I've been playing it, it's still the same old game. I got quite interested late on, really. Everyone at my school was mad about it, and playing it in the playground, however that works. Being an edgy 9-year-old, I had to hate it. How derelict something that they did. So for a while, I despised any mention of the name Minecraft. Until one fateful day in 2013, I stumbled across a video by Tycoon132, who seemingly has gone AWOL now, but I saw this video in my YouTube homepage. Hell, this is before I had an account. It was just it was like on the homepage recommended section. I was intrigued by the thumbnail and I clicked on it. I've never looked back. Minecraft quickly went from a game which repelled me on principle to a game that I began to love and never stopped loving. It was just this simple house tour. It was a bit of a clickbaity thumbnail. The thumbnail was a massive castle. I was like, oh, that looks cool, let me click on that. But this little house made me want to play the game, this one video alone. And that's different, it's special. From this video, I got into other Minecraft YouTubers such as Stampy Squid and the Yogscast. For the best part of a year, I watched them all, keeping up to date with whatever series were coming out at that time. At this point, I'll be honest, the things are hazy, I don't have a full recollection of them. Through whatever circumstances, I began playing on an Xbox 360. I think it was a hand-me-down. Don't quote me on that. I suppose this is my very own sub-story. But up until this point, I'd been this recluse who didn't have any great friends. I knew 3 people closely, but calling them friends was a bit of an overstatement. But getting Minecraft on the Xbox and telling people at school scored me my first true friends. People that I probably liked being around and talking to and hanging out with. So Minecraft itself got me my first proper friends, which is, I know it sounds like pretty sad, but it's sort of special in a way. Anyway, when I made my first world, I couldn't actually bring myself to play survival. So my first experience with the game was in creative mode. I spawned on the world's edge in a village in a desert, because it was on the edge of the world and the ocean just kind of stretched on forever. Gave me an overwhelming feeling small, and I think Minecraft was the first thing to truly do that, because I was quite young, I didn't have the overwhelming existential dread just quite yet. So I started to make my house in this world called Denland, and it's become a bit of a tradition now that every single first world or whatever on any on my Nintendo Switch, my first Minecraft world was called Denland. It's sort of a tradition at this point, and the seed was Denland. It was a single stone room with a big glass window. I remember cowering in that room come night because I didn't know mobs wouldn't attack me in creative, and I remember this creeper walking past the window, and I went up to the glass to mock it like, "Ha, you can't get to me." But it turned towards me and looked, and I understand now that that's just because that's the way mobs work. They look towards the nearest entity, even if they can't quote unquote see you. But like I was thinking, can they blow up behind the glass? Like proper chills ran down my back. I remember the moment very clearly. That was my first in-person interaction with a creeper. I'd only ever seen them on video. Like, I backed up against the opposite wall. This room was only about maybe 7 blocks by 7 blocks. It was fairly small, given it was my my first time in creative. And I went to bed and just slept the night away. Over the next few months, my love for the game grew, and I kept making new worlds. And in between playing on different worlds with my friends, I would always come back to Denland. And it was my world. Time passed, and my house gained a conservatory where the creeper once stood, where the glass was. There was this like nice little seating area. It had a garden with a little river out the front, and upstairs with an eating area and balcony all around the house, like 360 degrees around the house, complete with bookshelves and seats, and a top floor, a third floor, for redstone testing, and strangely a fountain on the top of the house. Now, I think I might have deleted that at some point, but I can just remember building it and then deciding it looked terrible, but I can't remember if I worked out how to get rid of the water, so I'm not sure if it's still there or not. The back of the garden, the back of the house and the back garden, was full of mushrooms because I thought they looked really interesting, and strange sort of wooden bug-like creatures, like bridges crossing over ponds. Next door I made a big library, which was soon connected by a glass bridge to my house. There was an animal reserve, greenhouse, a fishing hut on the other side of town, which is where I first properly used redstone. I was getting a bit bored of my village, so I decided to explore the world. Old console worlds were very small. I think it was only about 800 by 800 blocks, so in comparison to other more like Java, etc., very, very small. I found all of the villages and named them village names from Zelda because I'd recently become obsessed with Zelda. There was Kakariko in the desert hills near me, Goron City up north, on an island, so on. One time I was in Kakariko, and it was getting dark, so I went home. It was a clear night, no rain, no storms, and when I came back, less than 3 minutes later, because I got on a bed and flew straight back, because I like to sleep in the same bed every night, all of the wood was gone. The village had totally burnt down. To the best of my knowledge, there was no blacksmith or anything, so of course young me thought it was Herobrine, and I loved the idea of it in theory, but of course I stopped playing on the world. But it being my first world, I couldn't stand to delete it. Some time passed, and I started a survival world. I had this nice extreme hill as one of the old pre-1.7 ones, obviously, and I made this nice house on top of a cliff. There was a nice beach island ahead of me, just by the world border. Exploring one day, I found a hole in the extreme hills biome, about 7 blocks by 7 blocks, not too big, but it just went straight down. Like, this is even hazy. I remember walking up, being like, oh, is this a cave? And it was just this proper square hole going straight down. Like, I couldn't see the bottom of it because it was too dark, and I didn't have to change my gamma, as it's called on the Legacy console version. There's probably some explanation for it, I realise now, but in the heat of the moment, I deleted the world, citing Herobrine. I really regret this. It was a lovely little world, and I'd love to go back and see what it really was, but unfortunately I can't. It was a random seed, and I don't know what version it was on. So, it's certainly a shame. Time passed, full of playing with my mates on different worlds. They all had their own survival worlds. One of my friends always wanted to start new ones, and it was sort of like his little thing. Like, every night we'd build a house, like the same sort of style of house, and then the next day we'd start over the world, because he loved the starting of the survival. And, that was our little thing. There were plenty of fun little moments. I won't bore you with all of them. So come late 2014, we were all due to move into high school, and unfortunately I'd be going to a different school than the rest of them. But we all managed to keep in contact and keep on playing Minecraft on the Xbox. It was around this time that I made my YouTube channel properly, with the account itself popping up in April of 2014, and my first video being posted on October 31st. I pretty consistently did videos, including a short 10 episode survival let's play, and I pretty much did the videos for about a year and a half, often doing like news videos, and I was never clickbaity, but I would do like the stuff that got all of the views, quote unquote. All was well until late 2015, when I decided to ask for a computer for Christmas, with aspirations of playing the modern stuff, but all of my friends were getting Xbox Ones. We tried to keep messaging, but we simply just fizzled away. We just stopped talking. And I haven't spoken to any of them for at the very least 2 years now. The last person I spoke to was one of them about the old series of Doctor Who in April 2017. Just a quick PSA to Tom, Josh, Will, if you're by some ungodly chance watching this, thanks for all the good times, and message me, goddammit. When I got my PC, I found this small OP prison server, which only lasted a couple of weeks, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I've still got some old screenshots from it, and it's like, it's a nice period. It was in the build up to 1.9. Afterwards, in February 2016, I stumbled across this little old server called Oozecraft. Shortly after the release of 1.9, the original Ooze went down, and I mainly played on big servers like Hypixel, or whatever, single player worlds too, until the summer when I noticed Ooze's website was back up. Naturally, I started playing again, and after applying, became a mod. Back in that time, of course, I was in the second year of high school, year 8, and I wasn't a very nice person. I was quite edgy. I was very like, I'm better than you. I was more than a mod should be, a snitch. Like, I wasn't very fun back then, and I don't think I was until very recently. And that's a whole different conversation. It was good for a short while, like I say, but due to some poor decisions, I ended up being banned. In retrospect, Ooze was not a good place. It was very toxic. The higher up staff were questionable at best. But thankfully I was welcomed by a parade of old banned Ooze staff who'd recently been banned as well, for various reasons, and I was invited to create a server with them called Fallout Salvation. It was properly founded on the 15th of August 2016. Over the next 14 months, we made this Fallout-inspired server, and grew this wonderful community, and it was a wonderful time, and thankfully distracted me from what else was going on at the time, and the community inadvertently helped me a lot. FS was a good time, but nothing can last forever. I know I'm skimming massively over, it was 14 months of my life, but it was a great time for everyone involved. There were lots of fun things. We made a whole city, lots of quests, there was writing involved. It was a great time, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world. But due to a combination of lag and lack of donations, the server shut down in October 2017, and on the same day, after something had been in the works for a while because we knew the server would have to shut down eventually, I founded the Ethereal server along with some friends. Although I did the odd stream on Fallout Salvation, Ethereal was when I started to do videos again. I'd dropped off for at least a year at that point, and I did a video every 5 days on this SMP server. It was really fun, and Christmas that year, I planned to do a Christmas special, which, although it was written on the fly, has now developed into one of the biggest things in my life, and that sounds weird, just this one little Christmas special. But the so-called ethereal universe, for lack of a better term, really, is now like what I've got plenty of stories as a whole timeline planned. I'm adapting the Thief storyline, which is what the Christmas special started, and there's a small series of story episodes within a Let's Play. I'm adapting the Thief storyline into a novel. I'm doing a film in the universe. It was all sparked by this one Christmas special, and that's weirdly cool, a bit poetic, and really, really odd, because although Minecraft will have inspired a lot of people creatively, I don't think many were inspired in the way I was. I'm not trying to brag or say I'm better than anyone else, but like that's just like my little thing that's happened to me, and I think that's quite special. Again, skating over quite a lot of individual things, a lot of good times, a lot of questionable things from me. Again, I was not a nice person until surprisingly recently, really. Like, I was a really terrible person during this period, but 9 months and 50 episodes down the line, we decided to reset the server for Season 2, as it were, in 1.13. Ultimately, the server died down, and it became basically just me playing with only the odd person every now and again. And I realised that sadly, Ethereal 1 was probably the heyday of the server. It's a shame that we don't, properly appreciate the good old days while we're in them. It's like, I really wish that I was just back in those days logging on. There's like 3 other people online, and we go and prank someone or something. I just really miss those days, and I wish that maybe one day they shall come back. Ethereal 3 was in January 2019, most recently. It saw us return to Beta 1.8, but that wasn't a hit either, although it was quite fun for a short period. We did turn back to the original Ethereal 1 world because people were missing their old builds and stuff. But it seems that everyone's just got better things to do. And that's not me saying that people should play Minecraft all of the time. I'm not saying play on my server or you're a bad person and I'm going to call you out in a video. No, I worry that we're drifting apart again. Like, we're still in contact on like Discord and things, but like I worry that like the same thing will happen with my current friends as it did with my old friends. Minecraft has really helped me out, both emotionally with my own work and just in the game itself. Like, it's such a fun, relaxing game to play. It's the game I've put the most time into out of any game. Like, I calculated it using an app, and turns out I've spent, as of doing it a couple of months ago, turns out I spent 2/3 of the past year with Minecraft open. Not playing it actively, maybe it was just the launcher open on my computer, since it opens automatically when it's on, and I leave my computer on a lot when I'm not using it anyway, so it's probably completely blown out the water how much it's quote-unquote on, but supposedly 2/3 of the past 2 years, which is a lot. It's been, like I say, one of the only constants in my life. And it's a shame it's outlived most of my friendships. It's my 5-year anniversary on YouTube come November 2019. And it's kind of depressing as much as it is a milestone. I've been playing Minecraft for 5-6 years, and I know a lot of people have been playing it longer, but that's a long time. I'm only 15. That's 1/3 of my life. That's weird. There's so much more I could say about this game. I find it so hard to write this. Not that I'm like writing it while bawling my eyes out like, oh please, I was born in the wrong decade or whatever. Like, I'm not doing that. I find it so hard to properly articulate how much I love this game and how, like, what emotions it makes me feel thinking about the old days, thinking about the future of the game. And although it's changed a lot and Microsoft bought it and, updates have been coming out changing the game, how dare they, like, it will still be Minecraft and I will still play it. Even if it's an old even if like they add something I'm really against and it's an old version, I don't see myself ever stopping playing this game. It's been such a big part of my life. And, I know people would be like, oh, he plays Minecraft, he says it's important, he likes it. It's like, yeah, I do. And there's not a problem with that. I'm not trying to be preachy, but like, there's nothing wrong with enjoying something, especially when it's something like Minecraft. In truth, I plan to do a little short film to celebrate today being the 10th anniversary, but about halfway through, I honestly just gave up because I couldn't manually capture the wonders of the game. So instead, I just decided to the best of my ability to relay my experiences and what it's done to me, what it's done in terms of my life. And again, there's so much more I could say, but I just don't know how. Like, this game, it's at the end of the day just a game. It's been so special that I literally, like, people can review games all they want. People can say the new, I don't know, Mortal Kombat's, you know, the graphics look bad. It's a 7.8 out of 10. Too much blood. But like, can you properly review Minecraft? I don't think you can. Really though, Minecraft has touched so many people's lives, and it'll continue to do so. I truly believe in another 10, 20, 50, even 100 years' time, maybe it'll be a really niche group, but there will still be some people playing this game because there is so much to do. There's endless possibilities. Yeah, you got games like Terraria, which are fun, and I play it, it's fun, and obviously that'll have its own fan base, but with games like Minecraft, you truly cannot run out of things to do. I know it's not for everyone, but there will be something in the game that will be there for anyone. It truly is an amazing game. And I know it's been said before, but plenty of people over the past 10 years. Like, but can it be said enough, really? Like, can you truly say how good this game is? I know it's all subjective, but objectively, it's a good game. Opinions will change, because that's the nature of opinions. They'll vary between people. And obviously some people dislike some updates, some people love them. The game has helped so many people, myself included, like I've said. And when a game becomes more than a game, that's great. Like, the game in some people's hearts is their first Mario game, their first Zelda game, Pokemon Blue. Maybe they really loved Tetris as a kid, you know? But when a game becomes Minecraft, you can't quantify that. You can't capture Minecraft. It's on a whole different level. And I've tried, but I can't get across everything I want to say about the game. Like I said, it's a shame that we don't properly appreciate the good old days while we're in them. And going back to existential dread, I just hope that, you know, things will continue to be, no matter how bad they are at the moment, I hope things will continue to be good. I hope that, you know, the people that I hang around with will continue to be there, continue to, you know, play Minecraft and stuff. I've learned in so many situations not to take things for granted. Not now, not after, you know, so many things can be lost at the drop of a pin. So if there's one message that any of you have stuck around this long to hear, if there's one message you take away from this video, don't take things for granted. And if you want an even more streamlined message, don't take Minecraft for granted. If you enjoy playing Minecraft, then play it. Doesn't matter what other people say, it's such a wonderful thing. And don't let anyone take that away from you. Savor the moment, every single moment with your friends. Never hold back from apologizing. Just... I know this has quickly got very off topic, but honestly, Minecraft is some people's lives. It has made some people. It has inspired thousands, if not millions, of people to go into the games industry, to do art, coding, you know, all of those things. Just have a nice time. That's all I can say. Have a nice time. But here's to another 10 years.